On Sunday, the Seattle Seahawks dealt a blow to the San Francisco 49ers, and I thought this game came down to just a few key plays. Now, the 49ers have a short week. They're playing on Thursday night, so we're just going to take a look at those key plays and then talk about the future chances for the 49ers this season. Okay, first drive of the game for Seattle, and the 49ers are going to send K'Wan Williams on a blitz. Instead of defending the man in front of him, he's going to rush the quarterback. To compensate for this, the 49ers are going to slide the safety over. Now, ordinarily, you would want to time this right at the snap, but watch as they move just before the snap. They mistime it just slightly. And the Seahawks have a receiver coming open. But look where Wilson is looking. Look at his eyes. He's looking to the other side of the field. He never sees the blitz coming, and he gets snowed under. As a whole, I thought the 49ers defense played very well this game. They gave the team plenty of chances. All right, the Seahawks would have to punt, and the Niners get the ball, and here we get to a critical 3rd down and 5 situation. And here we get to the play that all of the team reporters, analysts, pundits, and sports anchors have generally called the worst play call they've ever seen from Kyle Shanahan. And sadly, I would agree with them. The 49ers have a man in motion. That's Jimmy Garoppolo. They split him out at wide receiver. Now they take a wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk, and line him up in the backfield as a running back. How do the Seahawks adjust? Well, Ayuk's man goes with him, and the Seahawks slide a safety over to cover Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, this is zero coverage, right? And we've talked about this on this channel before. This leaves a big hole in the middle of the field with no safeties, something that teams can exploit. But look who the quarterback is. It's Jerick McKinnon. He's not going to be able to exploit that. So the Seahawks feel very comfortable rushing all of their defenders to stop this play. The play is blown up and decisively knocks the 49ers out of field goal range. Big stop early in the game for the Seahawks. Let's take a look from this angle at what the 49ers were trying to do. Okay, here's the idea. They want to put that defensive end in conflict. If he goes for Jerick McKinnon, McKinnon will simply hand the ball to Ayuk. And if he goes for Ayuk, the McKinnon can just keep the ball and take off with it. That's the idea. So if you're the end, if you're DeMondre Moore in this situation, how do you handle it? The right approach is to attack the mesh point, and that's exactly what Moore does. Really nice play by Moore, who would be suspended after this game for using performance-enhancing drugs. Now that was a major stop, so the 49ers are going to have to punt. And you may remember they used a draft pick on a punter, but they used it for these kinds of situations, and here he delivers. Perfect punt, and the 49ers down the ball on the 1-yard line. Seahawks can't move the ball. They're backed up. They have to punt. Niners get good field position, and they go on another nice drive, and again get into what should be scoring position. And here, I think we get to a key 3-play sequence that really completely turned the tide of the game. You know, the Seattle offense came out a little flat in this game, and the Niner offense was moving up and down the field, but they hadn't scored yet. But like I said, we're going to take a look at this key 3-play sequence. Let's take a look at the first one. JaMycal Hasty puts the ball on the ground, and at first it was ruled that it was recovered by the Seahawks, but there you can clearly see the Seahawks defender is out of bounds, so that remains 49ers ball. The play would be reviewed and overturned. So if it was reviewed and overturned, why do I say that that was a key play? Well, a couple of things can happen there. One is something like that can be very disrupting to an offense that's driving, like the 49ers were, and specifically to the quarterback. And now the 49ers are faced with a 3rd down and 5. So this is the second play in our key 3-play series. And you may wonder, why on earth in the first drive did Kyle Shanahan make that awful play call of the direct snap to the running back on 3rd and 5? Well, here we have another 3rd and 5 situation, and we're going to take a look at Garoppolo here and see what he does. Garoppolo throws behind Kittle, and the pass is intercepted by DJ Reed. Now, was that a result of him being disrupted? Well, that could have something to do with it, but let's take a closer look from this angle. Now, right here, we get an excellent look. You can clearly see that his feet aren't set. And if you're wondering if that is his injured ankle, you are correct. He can't put any weight on it to throw off. And it was revealed after this game that he has torn ligaments in that ankle. That injury is much more serious than we thought. And in fact, he would end up having to leave the game. And there's a possibility he could have season-ending surgery. So Shanahan was probably trying to work around that injury. That's why he made the play call on the first series. But there you can see it affects Garoppolo's accuracy. And to make matters worse, it looks like that's Kendrick Bourne wide open in the end zone down there. Okay, so now we're going to skip ahead and to a 3rd and 9. This is immediately after this. And remember, I said this was a key 3-play sequence that happened. This is the 3rd play. And Russell Wilson has to dump this ball off to the fullback. And there's Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner, who have the fullback right in their sights. They should be able to stop him short of the 1st down. But Fred Warner, I want you to watch him on this play because he misses the tackle, and the fullback is able to fight through and lean forward and get the 1st down. That was a big, big play. And then this happens just 2 plays later. All right, here you see Emmanuel Mosley giving DK Metcalf a lot of space because he doesn't want to get beat deep on the play. So as soon as Metcalf sees that, he just cuts to the inside to catch a pass. Also notice Russell Wilson holding the safety with his eyes. Now here Dre Greenlaw tries to get set up to make the tackle, but DK's already moving laterally here. So Greenlaw's going to have to change directions. And when you have to change directions, you're already beat. And even here, when it looks like the 49er defenders might have him hemmed in on the sideline, DK just simply outruns them all to the end zone. And this is pretty much the way the rest of the game would go for the 49ers. You know, the defense played pretty good, but they gave up a few big plays to DK. And the Seahawks were able to score points on offense, and the 49er offense was not. Now, at the end of the game, Nick Mullins came in for an injured Jimmy Garoppolo and was able to get some things going in garbage time. So here we're going to take a look at an absolutely beautiful move by Brandon Ayuk. Watch him here. Ooh, that is filthy. Here's your top 4 receivers in the NFL over the last 2 weeks. Number 1, Devontae Adams. Number 2, Julio Jones. Number 3, Tyler Lockett. And number 4, Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk quickly looking like a wide receiver 1 for the San Francisco 49ers. So the loss dropped San Francisco to 4-4. They lost George Kittle for up to 8 weeks. Jimmy Garoppolo could potentially be out for the season. He's got ligament damage that isn't healing in his ankle. And, of course, we already know about the scores of injuries the 49ers already have. Over $80 million on injury reserve for the 49ers. That is just unprecedented, unheard of. I've never seen anything like that. Does it mean they're especially cursed? No, I don't think that. I think it's just kind of something very strange that happened. But let's talk about what the Niner chances might be going forward. You know, do they even realistically have a shot at even thinking about the playoffs at this point? Well, let's take a look at their schedule. All right, they've got Green Bay and New Orleans coming up. Now, if they win just one of those two games, they're 500 at the bye. Now, after that, they'll have 2 games left in the gauntlet, and then the schedule starts to get a little bit easier with contests against Washington football team in Dallas. You might say, but I mean, come on. Well, let's take a look at how they've already done it through going through this gauntlet. They're 2-1, right? They beat the Rams, they beat the Patriots, and then they lost to Seattle. So I wouldn't write the 49ers off quite yet. And one other thing is that the NFL is considering expanding the playoffs even more to 16 teams. Basically half the teams would get in. And they did something similar to this in 1982 during the strike. So it's not necessarily unprecedented. This could happen. Don't be surprised if it does. And I think obviously the 49ers kind of, flirting with that 500 record, with all of their injuries, they could still get into the playoffs. In fact, while I was in production with this video, I've just learned that the 49ers have had to shut down their locker room due to exposure to COVID. The Green Bay Packers have also had at least one player test positive for COVID as well. So these are the kinds of things that the NFL is looking at when deciding whether to expand the playoffs. So the Niners are supposed to play Green Bay on Thursday night. Who knows if that's going to happen anymore? But I think with Nick Mullins at the helm, there's definitely, a shot. There's a shot for them to try to get to that 8-8, 9-7 mark where they could sneak into the playoffs. And then if they do start getting some of these players back, if they do get Garoppolo back, if they do get George Kittle back, especially those two, anything can happen in the playoffs. I want to thank all my new subscribers. You guys are terrific. Obviously, it takes a long time to make a video like this. If I had known that the Thursday night game might have been off, I probably could have shown you guys some more plays, but I really appreciate it nonetheless. If you could just take 1 or 2 seconds and click that like button, that really helps out and just would really appreciate it a lot. If you're like me and you just can't get enough 49er content, great 49er content, check out the Ronbo Sports channel. I'll leave a link in the description for you. Those guys are great over there. It's just 49ers talk all week long, and they cover all the bases. So till next time, you guys, should be hopefully an interesting game against Green Bay. You never know what Shanahan has up his sleeve, right? And Nick Mullins has proved to be a capable backup in the past. So we'll see if we can take down Green Bay for a 3rd time in a row. Man, they're not going to be too happy in Wisconsin there, but the Niner fans will be happy. We know that. So hopefully it'll be a fun game, and I will see you guys then.